Tutoring industry in Victoria is very confusing, and honestly, sometimes it's harder to find a good tutor than it is to just improve at the subject. I'm Hubbo, a 98 ATAR student and someone who's done a lot of tutoring over these years, and I'm going to tell you the biggest red flag to see in a tutoring company if you're ever looking for one. Be very careful if a tutoring company says things like, we got this number of 99.95s last year, or this many of our students got 50 study score. This is a strategy that a lot of tutoring companies use once they get a large number of students, because what they can do is, firstly, they can test students before they can even enter the company. So it artificially pushes their average scores up without necessarily having better resources or better tutors. Tutoring companies that flex these types of statistics do this strategy where they look at which students are already going to perform the best and then give them lots of attention. And almost all these other students are just left out to dry with barely any resources, and the tutors also hardly ever reply to them. Further, with a lot of these group tutoring companies, they can just have the sheer number of students give them these stats without them really providing any benefit. That's why it's so important to be wary of just looking at stats when deciding a tutoring company, because they will pull these strategies on you, and that's how they make their money. Another big concern is that if you're hiring tutors off a private platform, let's say Superprof, and you just communicate directly to the tutor, a big thing that happens with a lot of tutors is that they can be very flaky. They'll tell you, oh, they're sick today and they're busy tomorrow, and then next week they've got a family emergency, and they constantly cancel lessons, which makes it really difficult for the student to really consistently get lessons in. And that's because these tutors who don't really work for established tutoring companies, they don't have any pressure on top of them to kind of keep them consistent with these lessons, and that's why it's so easy for them to just cancel a lesson whenever they feel like it. A reputable tutoring company will make sure that the tutor and the student are both consistent in their weekly lessons. Otherwise, firstly, you just don't get any benefit, and both parties are always annoyed at each other if there's constant cancelling in the middle. And also, without a proper schedule and just some pressure to keep you on track, it's very easy for both sides to just cancel and give up.